And I now give the floor to the representative of the Syrian Arab Republic.
شكرا.
Thank you, Mr. President. At the outset, we would like to thank you for holding this important meeting. I would like to add the following brief remarks. First, my delegation stresses that the Syrian national legislations are framed by the principle of providing protection to children in implementation of the provisions of the Syrian constitution. The national plan of the Syrian government for the protection of children is launched based on a comprehensive understanding of the current challenges and a keenness to address the consequences of the terrorist war imposed on Syria while ensuring Syrians' safety and prosperity. Second, in line with our commitments with international human rights law, over the past 10 years, the state of Syria has enacted a number of laws and legislations on child protection and child care. In 2013, a law was enacted, including an amendment to the Penal Code to criminalize the recruitment of children and their participation in combat. A national plan was adopted to address children victims of recruitment. Last year, the Child Right Law was adopted to promote the role of the state and its different institutions to protect and care for children while ensuring his or her upbringing, development, as well as scientific, cultural, psychological, and socioeconomic development and rehabilitation to build his or her personality so that they can contribute in all aspects of development. Third, regrettably, the children of Syria fell victim to aggressive policies adopted by well-known countries against my country. They suffered and continue to suffer from the unilateral measures imposed against them. Many of them were subjected to recruitment by terrorist groups and separatist militias, pushing them to the scourge of war. These all represent grave violations of children's rights. Children under the yoke of Israeli occupation in the occupied Arab territories in Palestine and the Syrian Golan also continue to suffer as they are exposed to different forms of violations by the Israeli occupying power. Fourth, the situation in the whole camp, northeast Syria, which is under the control of separatist militias proxies to the U.S. occupation forces, is a live example of the suffering of children. Their children in this camp are facing serious dangers, foremost nurturing the Takfiri extremist ideology, which turned them into ticking bombs, threatening peace and security in the region and beyond, if they are not immediately addressed. Addressing the phenomenon of the families of foreign terrorists, be they women or children, require genuine political commitment by the countries of origin of these people, as they must guarantee their repatriation, rehabilitation, and reintegration along with their families. My delegation calls on countries concerned to follow suit of other successful experiments undertaken by some countries who have expressed sincere commitment to their responsibilities and repatriated their citizens in coordination with the government of Syria and not through suspect deals with terrorist entities or separatist militias. Fifth and last, my delegation stresses the need to disassociate the issues of promoting the protection of children all over the world from any political considerations. We would like to underline that effective reintegration of all children suffering from the impact of different conflicts necessitates the serious and organized engagement to lure them once again to education while rehabilitating affected schools and providing an environment conducive for them to become a strong base for sustainable development in post-conflict period. They must also become a main pillar for social cohesion and sustained peace. My delegation calls upon UNICEF and other relevant UN agencies to play an effective role in repatriating those children and bringing them back a normal life while assisting them to get rid of those negative impacts of years of conflict. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the distinguished representative of the Syrian Arab Republic